When you purchase a new Dutch oven, they all come with a film of protective oil on them, and so before you start cooking for the first time, you want to remove that oil. So you'll take a mild detergent and you'll just take the oven, put it in your sink, use that detergent, scrub it up really well, and then you're going to want to dry the oven. You can do that by putting it on the stove and letting it heat up. Make sure that all surfaces are nice and dry, and then using a hot pad so you're not burning yourself, take a little bit of oil, and it's got to be a vegetable oil. We don't want to use a margarine or a butter, anything like that. And we're going to take just a cloth or a paper towel, get some oil on it, and coat that Dutch oven on all surfaces, top, bottom, inside, outside. And then we're going to take the oven to your oven in your house, and we're going to bake it for 6 hours at 200 degrees. Every couple of hours you want to take it out, put some more oil on it, and rub it down. You don't want to get too much, but just make sure that you're getting it nice and coated. And pretty soon you'll start to see a nice slick coating that gets better and better with age, and it'll become like a Teflon. It'll help the food cook better. It won't stick in your oven, and it makes cleaning really an easy thing to do. When you're done cooking, then there's just 3 or 4 basic steps of cleaning your oven. First of all, make sure the lid's clean, take it off, get something to scrape out your oven. I recommend something that's not going to take that patina off, because after we put the oil in and cook it and bake it, the oven's got little pits in it, and it's going to fill up those pits and create a smooth surface. So we want to scrape all the food out. Then we're going to take some water, put it back on the coals, and let that water start to cook it up, and it'll flake whatever's left on there. And then you can wash that out again. There's no need to use any more detergent on it. If you do, you're going to wash off that patina that you've worked so hard to put on there, and you're going to have to season your oven again. Take another 6 hours, bake it in your house. I've got some salt here. If you've got something that is really stuck, maybe you've overcooked it, which occasionally can happen, but with a Dutch oven, most of the time you're pretty safe. Just pour some of that salt into it, rub it around, use it as an abrasive, and then rinse it out like we talked. Make sure it's nice and clean. Heat up the water again, and then make sure it's completely dried out. When it's dried out again, we're going to put the smallest amount of oil, just enough to coat the surfaces. We don't want any, if you turn your oven up on the side, we don't want it to run down. We just want enough to fill up that pitting again and to create a nice patina. And so maybe the size of a dime or a nickel, put it in there and see if you can coat all the surfaces with that. Then when you're done, we recommend that you take a paper towel, leave the corner sticking out, put the lid back on, and that creates just a little bit of airflow, and any moisture that's still in the Dutch oven is going to be sucked up into that paper towel, and it'll keep your oven nice and clean. It's going to give you service for a lot of years. We recommend that you store your oven in the house, keep it in a cool, dry place, and it'll last you forever. Now, I've lent my ovens out, and you can see on this one I've wired on just a little nut, and that lets them know that this oven goes with this lid. And one time it came back and they hadn't treated the oven properly, and actually it had some rust on it. They'd burned it out in the fire, which of course had taken the patina off. And so what we just had to do was scrape it down again. You can use steel wool, whatever you need, but it's going to take that patina right off, scrub it back up, and then re-season it, start over, bake it in your oven, and it'll come out beautiful, and you really haven't lost your oven. So if it's not busted up, then most of the time you can recover your oven and make sure that it'll give you service for a lot of years.